In business, it's hard to understand if you're making progress and feel it and see it. And that's what I want to share today is like, how do you actually measure the value you create on a daily basis? How to measure your daily value creation as an entrepreneur. Here's the deal. You get up in the morning, you work. At the end of the day, you stop, look back, and go, what the heck did I do with my time? Or maybe you spend the whole month getting busy, and at the end of the month, you look and you're like, I didn't hit my numbers, right? Or you're challenged because you don't know what things are actually going to move the needle for you in your business, the difference between doing work in the business versus on the business. This video is going to challenge all of your assumptions because I believe that most entrepreneurs are not working in the right way. They don't understand what's the difference between doing the work and actually being an entrepreneur, how to be CEO. This is going to happen in this video. So if you're ready for this, here goes. You know, I learned this framework from a good buddy of mine named Todd Herman, the creator of the 90-day year. Some of you guys may have seen his video and interview that I did with him. If not, I'll link it up below. But here's the deal. I was a student of Todd's program. It is one of the most thorough and incredible and detailed programs. If you want to learn how to, and really the name says it all, get a year's work of effort done in a 90-day period. You know, and it was in that program that he shared a framework called the Entrepreneurial Scorecard that really shaped my thinking for this framework. You know, because at the end of the day, what I love about CrossFit, all right, there I owe you guys $20, I said the word CrossFit, is that you compete every day. So to me, the Entrepreneurial Scorecard that Todd teaches allows you to compete every day against yourself and try to measure that so that you can improve things as you go forward. So the first thing you need to understand is the 4 buckets. There's 4 distinct buckets of type of work that you're working on. Okay? So the first one is actually admin work. It's supportive work. It's things that need to get done that actually doesn't add value for the client, like travel schedule, processing emails, writing copy. Like it's just work. It's things that are administrative in nature. So that's the first bucket. The second bucket is doing the work for the client, right? Like really saying, if I'm a programmer, I program. If you design, you design. If you, you create programs or whatever it is, that is the work aspect of the business. The third bucket is management. It's all the meetings. It's the project management. It's reviewing things. It's following up with people. It's getting them unblocked. It's getting them the resources, okay? That is the third bucket. The fourth, which is one that most entrepreneurs never even touch, maybe once a year they sit down for a couple hours and they plan, is the strategic bucket. It's the area and the time you spend planning the business, trying to understand what are the different resources that you have and how can you put them in the right order to get and achieve the outcome that you want. It's the strategic thinking. Those are the 4 buckets: admin, work, management, strategy. So first you need to understand those 4 buckets to figure out what you put in each one of them. The second area I want to share with you guys is the 4 value aspects of these buckets. Because here's the deal. If you do this right, you'll be able to say, okay, my goal this year is to build $1 million company. Okay? If that's your goal and you say, okay, every day I need to create value. So if you look at 365 days in a year, you're really only going to work about 200 days when you take out weekends and vacation and other things. Some of you guys are hardcore and you're going to work a lot more than that, but let's just say 200. If you divided each one of those, that $1 million by 200, you're going to end up with a $5,000 per day value creation. So here's the way you kind of quantify each area of those buckets. Because really you can look at your time and say, if I spend an hour doing email and that's a supportive admin work, then that's really $10, right? So the first level is 10. The second level or the second bucket is a $100 task that's doing the work for the client. The third bucket is management. I'll give you $500 an hour for that type of work, daily value creation. And then the fourth bucket is going to be $5,000. That's the strategic work. All right? So what you do is in your day, you write down all the different tasks that you work on, all the different projects. Where did you spend your time? If you're a fan of my other training, you've probably gotten to the point where you're starting to schedule things in your calendar. For me, it's really easy because I just look at my calendar because I obey and I block time. I know what I worked on so I can easily quantify it. And then you measure the value created in that day. If all you did was client work for 8 hours, that's an $800 an hour, that's an $800 day. If all you did was management meetings for 8 hours, then that is a $4,000 day. But as I just mentioned, if you're focused on building $1 million company and you divide it by 200 days, you need to be generating $5,000 an hour or $5,000 value days. Now here's the cool part. If all you did was block time, a strategic type of thing, and strategic means like managing, or not managing, but processing and understanding, what do I want to get done this quarter? What do I need to get done this week? What do I need to design from a marketing point of view? What's my recruiting process? It's strategic thinking. It's not doing the work, it's the work of thinking, strategy. Here's the resources, what order they need to go in. That is a $5,000 an hour. So if you can schedule those kinds of projects or time in your calendar once a day for 1 hour, then regardless of whatever happens the rest of the day, you're going to nail your goal and you're going to build that $1 million business. Now, the third area that you need to understand, once you've got the buckets and then the value per bucket, is really the difference between on and in. So if you look at a grid and you design this kind of like, what are things that I do that's admin, work, management, or strategy, then you have the opportunity to clearly see the difference between working in the business and on the business. In the business is the first two that I just shared, or maybe I'll go on this side. It's the in the business, it's the work or the admin stuff. That's working in the business. The on the business is management and strategy. All right? So that is how you can think about it. When Michael Gerber from the E-Myth wrote that incredible book, the E-Myth Revisited, he talked about like working on and in the business. I'm giving you a clear framework to understand what type of activities in your day qualify for each one of those. So real quick, understanding the 4 buckets: admin, work, management, strategy, the value of each one, $10 an hour, $100 an hour, $500 an hour, $5,000 an hour, and then understanding if you split those two buckets into their own section, this is in the business, this is on the business, that will give you a framework to think about creating value in a measurable way every day. Powerful stuff. If you choose to do it, you can keep it in a spreadsheet, you can log it, you can make it happen. Following this will allow you to be more certain about how you're going to align what you do today to the quarter, to the month, to building your business. I hope this video finds you doing extremely well, and as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business, and I'll see you next Monday. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel where I share other videos on how to start and grow your business. Also encourage you to subscribe to my newsletter where I send out exclusive invites to events and other private training videos. And if you're ready to get going, click on those videos. I got a couple queued up for you. I will see you next week.